Alright, let's do this. So after months of consideration, I've decided to start myself a YouTube channel. I'm not really sure the direction that I want to go with this channel. I'm sure that I'll find it along the way. Up until that point, it'll just be a lot of sort of random stuff here and there, no real genre at all. I'm just gonna kind of do whatever artistic impulse that I'm feeling that week. I'll try to be as consistent as I can when it comes to uploading. I'll upload probably once every 2 weeks or once every fortnight. This t-shirt I'm wearing says "Filter Coffee, Not People." You can pick that up at Department of Brewology. You should definitely check them out. And let me give you kind of an introduction of myself and my life. My name is Darren. My wife, she's a YouTuber. Her name is Janae. Her YouTube name is Eager Suitcase. And you can follow her, go check her out. She's got some really cool stuff. So before we go too far, we should talk about how we got here. And I don't mean me, I don't mean us, I don't mean humanity or morality or society. I mean the internet. And it's because of the internet that we can have these conversations, I can make these kinds of videos, and we have such a reach and such a stage as humans. So this video might move fast, and there's gonna be a lot of information in it, and it's gonna hit you like a slap in the face. But if you stick it out, you might learn some stuff. So let's just jump into it. So the first computer concept was created in 1822, which, do you know what was going on in 1822? Harriet Tubman was being born. The night before Christmas, that old ass book was being written. That stuff is old as hell, and that's where the first concept of the computer came from, was from 1822. The first modern computer was built by Alan Turing during World War II in the 1940s to decode German war messages. If you haven't seen the movie The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, it kind of tells his whole story, kind of gives you the details of the invention that he created, which was a huge stepping stone into what we now understand as computing and computer science. In 1946, the first programmable computer was created at the University of Pennsylvania, and at the time, that computer took up 1,800 square feet. Now, I tried to think of some example to give you to show you how large that is. That's about the size of an average size Starbucks. You have your front, you have your pastries, your coffee, all your tables you can sit up. That whole space would have been just machinery stacked all over the floor, like everywhere. That's how large the first computer was, which is crazy to think about because this right here, my iPhone XS Max,
no flex,
has more computing power than the first computer that sent man to space, which is crazy to think about, that we use this kind of device for Facebook, for Instagram, for Twitter, for taking pictures, for stupid little games, and we have so much computing power at our fingertips. In the 1980s to the 1990s, the concept of personal computing and at-home computer began to explode.
Three men with an idea for a personal computer that would simply work better.
It should run thousands of programs.
Be rugged, powerful as well as portable.
I got it.
Maybe even a hard disk. I've got an idea that just might let us do that.
The next year, Compaq became the most successful new company in the history of American business because they were right.
How about some coffee?
It simply works better.
So, next question is, how does the internet work? So it's kind of complicated to explain, but I'm gonna make it as simple as I possibly can, so that way we can just move on and this is not a 45-minute video. The internet basically communicates to a cloud or a database with information from your personal computer, and that's accessing it through either Wi-Fi, through data, or through a connection in your wall. And you basically access databases that are owned and controlled by companies of the websites you want to visit. And it sends a high-pitched frequency through the wires in your wall. The first concepts of this was obviously used in dial-up, and you have that awful dial-up sound. But now we have something called broadband, which is just anything that's not dial-up is considered broadband. So the first prototype of the internet was built in the 1960s, and it was referred to as the network of networks. And through the 1960s, 1970s, 80s, 90s to 2000s, it slowly started getting better and improving until you have what we know today as the internet. So in the 1990s, the internet was still this really mysterious thing that a lot of people just didn't understand. They didn't get it.
T's.
Oh, that's
that little
right.
mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At.
See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was about.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'd never heard it.
Around
I'd never heard it said. I'd always
That's
seen the
right.
mark, but never heard it said. And then it sounded stupid when I said it. Violence at NBC.
I
would
heard
be
something
around
big
or
fight
about?
up in the lunchroom the other
See,
week.
there it is. Violence at NBC. GE.com. I mean,
Well, Allison should know. What
what
do you
is
say to that,
internet
Allison?
anyway?
The internet's first social media site was a site called Friendster and 6 Degrees. I'm not old enough to have had access to those, so from about 1994 to 2000, the internet absolutely exploded. You have all of these people that want to jump into this new frontier of a way to make money, a way to advertise, and so you had tons and tons of investors dumping all of this money into startups, into websites, into creators and developers for a concept that wasn't fully understood at the time, and everything worked perfectly, and that's the end. No, I'm just kidding. It collapsed. In March 11th of 2000, what we call the dot-com bubble, which is appropriately named, the dot-com bubble burst, and tons of companies collapsed completely because of that. And it's because the people that were giving their money to these developers didn't fully understand what was going on, and they did not ensure that their investment would come back. And the dot-com bubble burst in March 11th of 2000 and lasted until October of 2002. And a lot of people thought that this would be the end of the internet phase. And obviously that's not it. Like, it's still very much so around. So now that we're all caught up, origins of computers, origin of the internet, how the internet functions in a very, very simplistic manner. If you want more, I will put stuff in the description down below. You can do a little bit more of your own research, but that's just a very, very simple explanation of how we got to this point. And, you know, I like teaching. I want to say thank you for sticking around, watching my very first YouTube video. I promise it'll get better in not only production value, but content as well. If you dig it and you want to help support my channel, go and hit that like button. And if you want to see where this channel goes, what direction we're going to take next, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.